guys, it's Jean Ann calling from Ontario. I'm actually driving in the rain, if you believe it or not. I am working with Lacey. We were talking about trying to do a makeup course when I'm out west, and it's not really panning out because everybody's all over the place. So I thought I would do kind of like it's going to be about a 6 or 7 part breakup of the videos, and some tips and makeup tips and how to apply and everything. So obviously I won't be doing them all in my car. So basically just a little bit about me. My name is Jean Ann Kenning, and I am from Coldwater, Ontario, which is about 2.5 hours north of Toronto. I'm married. I have 2 kids, 14 and 4, and we live on a farm. My husband is in the marine business, so he owns a dry dock marine facility. And I used to be, previous to Arbonne, I used to be a wedding and event planner. So I worked for Delta Hotels, and I used to travel all over Ontario and do various weddings and conferences and that sort of thing. I signed up with Arbonne because my sponsor, Eleanor Dobbins, who is from Ontario, she gave me a sample. At the time, my youngest son was about 6 months old, and I decided that I wanted the discount. So I was definitely kind of like a kidnapper or a discount napper. I had no intentions of doing the business full time at all. But as you know, life changes and things happen. Shortly after I signed up, my son developed some very large medical problems. He has hydrocephalitis, which is fluid on the brain. So obviously, being the crazy mother that I am, I got very paranoid about leaving him. So I decided with my husband that I wasn't going to return to work. It was too much, an 1.5-hour commute, working every weekend, weddings, all that sort of stuff. So, sorry, I just have to change. So we decided that I was going to stay home, not even putting Arbonne in the radar. But I was a single mother for 7 years and had developed quite a large career and a very, very good income, and to walk away from doing anything for myself just wasn't really what I was about. So once we got our medical issues with Riley sorted out, we decided that I was going to do Arbonne. So around that time, I went to CNTC in Ottawa, and that's when I met my good friend Jacqueline, and she kind of opened my eyes to what the potential of the business could be. Flash forward to about now. Arbonne has always been an amazing attribute in my life. It's definitely brought me very positive things, but the one area of the business that I was extremely weak on, and that's putting it mildly, is makeup. As you can tell, I'm a very natural girl. I'm only wearing lipstick right now, and that was only because my lips were dry, or else I wouldn't have anything on my face normally. So when people would ask me questions at parties or anything like that, I felt like a fish out of water. So what I did is this past July, August, and September, I enrolled in Canadian Beauty College, which is here in Ontario. I think it's probably all over Canada, obviously, I'm not sure, to take their makeup professional certification. So basically, it's obviously not Arbonne products, but it's to become a professional makeup artist. And it's everything you need to know about how to apply makeup, people's face shapes, eye shapes, color undertones on people's skin, everything you could name for that. And that was more just for my confidence than anything. So I highly recommend, you know, if you have the time and you're really passionate about the makeup and you see that sort of thing, I highly recommend going and doing that. So I took the makeup certification, and almost instantly my sales doubled in the makeup, if not tripled. I sell way more makeup now than I do skincare as well. So sorry, I'm turning. So I am definitely very happy that I did that. And in the meantime, I have decided to continue on with my makeup applications. So I do a lot of one-on-ones where I go to people's houses and I do the makeup looks on them. I don't charge for that. It's just the certification helped me. So let's just talk about in this first video what I think are good tools for you to have in your arbonne kind of kit, so to speak, and to have with you. I definitely am a high advocate of having either the samples or the makeup kit, because I can't begin to tell you how much makeup I've returned because of the wrong color. Unless you put it on somebody, you're never going to know from the catalog. It doesn't do it justice on the coloring. So if you can afford to get the makeup kit, the full kit, I would definitely recommend doing that. If you can't afford it, here's what I recommend. You definitely want to have the CC cream. In my age bracket, middle 30s, everybody's into, looking natural and nice and light. So I only have the fair and light, but depending on what your market is, you may want to get the dark as well, in the medium. Sorry, not the dark, the medium. So fair, light, medium. You also want to have foundations. This is huge, okay? So this is the #1 contender for returns. So you want to have fair, soft blush, buff, a honey beige, and a rose beige. You could go a little bit darker. Don't go into the alabasters and all that stuff because it's way too light. I have alabaster. I've never even used it. So 90% of people will be soft blush or buff, somewhere in between. That's where I float from. Then you want to have a few of the powder foundations as well. So get, I'm going to draw a blank here, Satin, the Radiant is another one, and Rose as well. I'm going to talk about what, I'm at my destination, so this is good, what the function of those are. Then don't worry about the tinted moisturizer. I don't even bother with those anymore now with the CC cream. And then, so we got that and that. So then you also want to have your primer, okay? That's given. You should be passing that around even if you're not doing parties. Makeup parties, you want to do the primer. So then you want to have a few shadows. Definitely you need linen. You need sand is my #1 user. You also need to have something in the pale pink, so Petal. You could go into the chocolate and Javas, but you're really getting into a more higher experience. But when I talk about in one of the videos, the 5-minute face, you definitely need the linen and the sand. Java I use to fill in my eyebrows, so that's a big thing too as well. Mascara, obviously that's a given. You want that. Then you want to have a few lip colors. So this is really good testing of my knowledge. The brown sugar, you want to have the coral because summer's coming up. That's really popular. The lipstick, Satin is #1, Vintage Rose. Don't get into the reds and that sort of stuff because it's really only for, professional application as well. And then you want to get into an eyeliner. Don't waste your time. I'm just going to show you what to do with ebony. That's the only thing I put on people is ebony. I don't do liquid. I don't do the cocoa. I don't do the brown, that sort of stuff. You definitely want to have the bronzers, okay? Get both if you can. In my generation, over 30, the 35th anniversary bronzer looks 10 times better than the old one because it's not as dark and it doesn't have as much shimmer as well. So you definitely want to look at that, okay? But work yourself up. If you can't purchase all those things, I would recommend, at the very least getting the foundation samples because those are the most unforgiving things that we have in our repertoire, okay? So you're also going to need all the disposable tools. This is key. If you're going to be applying anything, I am going to go over hygiene, but you want to make sure that you have the disposable mascara wands. You want to make sure you have the disposable lip applicators as well. You want to make sure that you get the sponges. I just buy my sponges by the bag full at the dollar store. You don't need to have, super expensive as well. And then there's an eyeshadow applicator as well. You can get those through Arbonne or at the dollar store, whatever, is the easiest. You're also going to want some sort of a cleanser. So there's a million things. You can go to Sephora and buy a makeup cleanser. I just use 70% alcohol, rubbing alcohol, and 30 in a little spray bottle. That's great too as well. So you can make that up. They actually do, I noticed in the dollar store the other day, I bought a few, and they do sell those just individually. So I bought a bunch of those too as well. So that's kind of, you need to get all your ducks in a row, so to speak. And have, your kit organized. I have some people on my team who bought throughout, and other people just bought the whole kit. I'm not 100% sure off the top of my head. I believe the success packs are still available. That makeup builder success pack is an amazing deal. When I got my success pack a couple years ago when I went district as a present to myself, it was, with the discount, it was like $990. And you can get the success pack, I think, for around $500. So that's a really good deal. Then you have everything. You will make that money back once you're experienced and know how to sell the makeup. No time to get it back, for sure, because it's really easy to sell once you're comfortable with it. Okay. So, the other thing you can get is, on the Arbonne business aid section of